to Mega City 1, one of only 2 habitable cities left on Earth. Truth, justice, and law start and end with one man, Judge Dredd. Through the magic of filmmaking, he's been brought to life. What did it take to bring this epic to the big screen? Sylvester Stallone, Rob Schneider, Diane Lane, Armand Assante, Jürgen Prochnow, Joan Chen, and Max von Sydow in Stallone's Law, the making of Judge Dredd.
Hi, I'm Sylvester Stallone. You know, I've made 32 pictures in my career, and most of them action. And let me tell you, they are tough. Recently, I made an action film based on a comic book called Judge Dredd, and it was a whole new experience for me. The set is in the future, and now you just can't go out and find a futuristic city and film there. You have to build it. You have to create a whole society, and it took over 1 year to build the world of Judge Dredd. Anyway, since you're building a whole society, you have to try to keep law and order in the streets. In other words, you have to have law. And in this film...
I am the law!
Well, actually, I'm Judge Dredd. Who is Judge Dredd? Why don't you ask me, what is God? Judge Dredd is a compilation of all the necessary qualities that makes for the perfect law machine. He is a walking judicial system.
Court's adjourned.
The top cop of a chaotic society who all the other cops look up to. He's the field marshal of chaos, whose name brings fear to everyone thinking about breaking the law.
These bloods are under arrest.
That's just Dredd, man. Hey! You want to be afraid of somebody? Be afraid of me.
Right. Got it. Why don't I run down there and surrender? Sort of throw him off guard. Bad idea.
Fergie's the every guy. He's the everyman. He's the guy who, like everybody, is really scared and really a big coward and would sell his own mother to survive.
Ferguson, Herman, hacker. Illegal tampering with city droids, computers, cash machines, taxi robots.
And you haven't even been out of jail for 24 hours. He's habitual with her. She automatic 5-year sentence. How do you plead?
Not guilty?
I knew you'd say that.
Fergie is the kind of person that Dredd deals with without even noticing he's there, you know? I mean, that's the petty criminal from downtown, a kid who's grown up on the street very much on his own, gets by on his wits and his sense of humor.
You can't eat me! I've got eczema, I've got warts, I've had gonorrhea. Eat Dredd, he works out!
Did you know that Judge Dredd is a virgin? I have with me an affidavit from Nathan Ohlmeyer, currently a junior at the academy. See? Hershey knows a lot of things. Wouldn't it feel good to have an emotion once in a while, huh?
Emotions. There ought to be a law against them.
She's by the book, but she brings in a human element to it all, that she's trying to take away the chink in his armor to try to figure out what makes him tick.
She plays, I wouldn't say a love interest because Judge Dredd's never had any love. He's never kissed a woman. He's never been anything other than a perfect law machine.
Haven't you ever had a friend?
Yes. Once.
What happened? Dredd! Wait. I want to know what happened.
I judged.
Rico is the personification of evil.
Who says politics is boring?
When elements in society run amok and they're uncontrollable. He's that which is uncontrollable, that which is unstoppable, which is pure evil.
You want fear? I'm fear. You want chaos? I'm the chaos. You want a new beginning? Yeah. I am the new beginning!
The idea of playing a character that is so, in a way, over the top, you know, and in a way being in the context that it could be plausible is very exciting.
Bad guy is terrible because the bad guy is extremely realistic. He's intelligent, he's insidious, and he has a plan.
The society created a so-called Council of Judges and I'm the member of this council. He wants to be head of the council because he thinks what is necessary for the future to rule the leftovers of society is to produce more law and order.
The city is in chaos. For social order, we need tighter reins. Incarceration hasn't worked as a deterrent. I say we expand execution to include lesser crimes.
Elsa is a female Frankenstein. She is a scientist who is driven mad by an idea, influenced by her lover's madness and absoluteness.
I thought you said he was created here by the finest scientists of Mega City. A bold experiment. It's a petulant child.
She's attracted to that absoluteness that Rico has.
Now let's see. Dredd flies through the air on a motorcycle, and he runs down a tube with a 50-foot fireball following him, and he fights a man who's half machine, half monster. Now, you might think I was just reading a few pages from a Judge Dredd comic book, but actually, I'm looking over the script. And these are the things I had to do in this movie. And seriously, when you think about it, sitting down with a pen and paper to write a comic book is one thing, and trying to bring an epic hero to life on a big screen is quite another. Well, Judge Dredd is kind of a physical film, no doubt about it, but what I like more than anything else is that it's an extremely intelligent drama that has a lot of poignancy, also surrounded in the world of action.
Action! Action!
I'd grown up very much with Judge Dredd making an impact on me, and I was inspired by the stories in the 2000 AD comic book since I was 10.
Danny truly had the vision of this character and of this time period in his mind.
What we've done is taken a comic book, of the Judge Dredd comic book, and made it believable, so that as you're sitting there, there is nothing that you see that you don't believe that could happen.
This all takes place in Mega City 1, which is like this, it's sort of like a medieval walled city, but in the future. And New York has expanded, beyond anyone's imagination. It's had to grow vertically as opposed to laterally, with a combination of miniatures and computer-generated buildings and vehicles, and it should just be enormous, but very believable as well.
I supervise or direct the visual effects for the film. Here we do all those things that can't be done on a live-action set, like models, computer-generated imagery.
Well, the motorbikes are very interesting. They're called the Law Masters, and we have two versions. There's a road version and there's a flying version. It has a lot more tricks associated with it. There's quite an extensive bike chase that involves the flying ones.
Hope it works.
After having planned out the whole sequence and creating the bike chase sequence, is to shoot the backgrounds. The second step is to shoot Dredd and Fergie on the bike, which will be on a motion base in London in front of a green screen.
3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then afterwards, we put that all together through the magic of digital compositing, so that you end up with a piece of film that looks like Dredd and Fergie are flying around through the future city.
I would say unequivocally, this is the largest scaled film I've ever done, whereas I have never seen the proportions or the craftsmanship, the painting, the little delicate touches that perhaps the audience is not aware of, but it is so real that I sit there in absolute amazement.
My name is Josh Williams, and I'm the special effects supervisor. It's my responsibility to provide the effects, the physical effects that are required on the movie, from atmospherics to explosions. mechanical rigs, and so forth. When we started talking about the robot, I had in mind a man in a suit. Bo and Danny and Nigel really wanted to go purely mechanical to show that there could not be anybody in there at all, which I wanted to do as well. So we went along those lines, and hence our robot. And we had certain scenes that we had to do, especially with Diane, as Hershey in the Janus lab, where he grabs her.
Robot at the count of 3, break Judge Hershey's neck.
He's very powerful. He's got a potential lift capacity straight upwards of 2 tons as a hydraulic creature. So I had certain concerns about how much interaction we could get with him and artists.
I have to stop all this!
Sometimes it's really scary to work with something like that. If you can control it properly and if it works properly, then it's fine.
We got involved in the weapons for the movie.
Lawgiver 2, 25-round sidearm with mission variable voice programmed ammunition. Signal flare.
Effects-wise, it's a big movie. I mean, it's been very intense for us. Every day of the shooting schedule, there's been something for us to do. For example, one of the heaviest days was on the lot in Mega City, where we had the Yuppie car, which is a futuristic car that's supposed to float off the ground, and this Yuppie's trying to bump his way out of a tight situation with these modern bumpers. We had to have that rigged. While we were rigging that, we had to prepare the bank to blow up. Once we had the Yuppie car in there to go back and forth, we had to take that out, then put in our Yuppie car to blow up. And then from there, we had to go and put the robot in the alley and shoot 6 judges. So it was quite a busy day.
Well, it's got it all. We blow things up. You got your Sylvester Stallone hero.
Mr. I am the law.
You got me being a huge coward.
Let me crush him, Paul. Excuse me? We're not together.
You got the babes, you got Diane Lane, you got Joan Chen, you got the psycho, Rico.
Judge Rico executed 9 years ago.
I got better.
It's fun. I mean, it's a roller coaster of a movie.
You're a lot of fun to be with, Dredd, you know that?
He came in, and the first day he fell down a flight of steps and said, "Welcome to the world of action."
You're a lot of fun to be with, Dredd! Oh, God.
You okay? And then he proceeded to become tortured and beaten and nearly destroyed throughout this film because it's quite rough.
It took 2 seconds for this to happen. Your ticket price is about $7.50 these days in the theater. That's 30 cents worth right there. As soon as I fell on my face, Stallone told me what it was, and he said, "You know, they say comedy's hard, death is easy. Action pictures are hard." And he's absolutely right. Action, I got more than I knew. Bullet wound, contusion, 2 weeks. See me at the end of the movie. I'm still in one piece. Ooh. I see Roper's in traction at the end of this movie. We were running down a tube with a fireball behind us, and we had to really do it. I mean, there's a real fireball. And as soon as they go, you run like hell. And believe me, we just, you know, that's not acting at that point. It's just surviving. They did have like this anti-burn gel, which there's a lot of protection there. Anti-burn gel. I noticed that they used a lot more of the gel for Stallone because he's the star, and I'm expendable because I'm the comic actor. Ooh.
Have you been crying?
No, I'm not crying.
I got something in my eye. It was like a running gag. You know, this is working. I'm gonna grab him by the face in every scene. So he grabs me by my face and rips me out and throws me up against the wall. And that's his way of saying hello.
The most difficult part is he has to stay in those particular clothes for 4 months. Can you believe it? Without a shower. So my job's not easy.
I'm Emma Porteous, and I'm the costume designer. The Judge Dredd look is, it's some blue, it's obviously part of the comic, and it's tights, leotard, tight-fitting jacket, because they're very muscly, all these judges, and extremely fit. So you do the costume to make the most of that.
This was partially designed by Gianni Versace, so it has a sense of style to it, futuristic-wise. I said, try to put together what you think is going to happen in the future, the kind of materials, the kind of look, the militaristic, the fanciful, and so on and so forth, and he came up with this.
So he wanted the bright brass armor and the shiny badge on the helmet and this very close-fitting helmet. So he was very much towards the comic. And then, of course, we have the Judge Hunters, all in black, big black rubber armor and these black helmets that all enveloping, you don't see them at all. And big, tall people, even bigger than Dredd. So they're really quite awe-inspiring. You have the prison shuttle guards, and that's a whole nother look again, because out there in the atmosphere is appalling, so they have these weatherproof big cloaks on and helmets with gas masks attached. It's a very challenging film, because the look is so specific.
To have this outrageous fight with this woman that is not about a cat fight. This is just an outrageous fight. And they didn't use stunt double once. Actually, I asked them to use a stunt double once for Joan because I have to do this headbutt.
This is a fun thing to see two women fight with style. And not grabbing at each other's hair and biting off each other's ears and stuff like that. We've trained really hard, so it's great fun.
When was the last time two girls did this? I mean, girls have hit each other in movies before. I don't think it's gone on quite as viciously as this before.
Well, believe it or not, Rob actually made it to the end of the movie in one piece. And I think I overheard him say something like extended vacation or a nice quiet play in the Berkshire Mountains of New Hampshire, a long way from the set of Judge Dredd.
This is pure fantasy, action adventure. As fantasy and as crazy and as visually exciting as this film hopefully will be, the idea of that kind of insanity is a question that's all in our minds, and it's a big moral question.
Slots of energy!
Action!
Percy and Briscoe in position outside Heavenly Haven!
This movie takes itself seriously and takes you somewhere, and you don't feel like you're watching a movie.
That's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I don't take compliments well, and I would never give myself one, but I feel really good about the whole movie and look forward to seeing it.
I really believe it's important to know when to start a party and when to leave, and Judge Dredd, of course, is no exception. Rob dead. I'm telling you, it's just unbelievable. It's been a thrill doing this film.
Ow! I'm a wreck. But believe it or not, I'm in the best shape of my life. This is it.
I wouldn't be opposed to Judge Dredd 2, The Revenge of Fergie.
Now, Rob, that's what I think is a truly, potentially great idea. But I don't think we can afford Rob's medical bills, a huge liability. Well, anyway, thanks for watching the making of Judge Dredd. And remember, don't take the law into your own hands. Leave it to the judge.
Attention all judges.